And then how are we going to sell it? So that's the crux of the matter. Okay. How do we sell it? So there's a few ways to do it. So for example, you can DM people on social media. You can post in groups. Okay. You can cold call people. You can send cold emails. You can show up in person and you can go to these, let's say, small restaurants. You don't even need a business card these days, but you can show them what you do. Like Chamber of Commerce, people even go to. It's limitless. Like when I first started, I was doing webinars, like just once a week or once in 2 weeks, a 1 hour training on Zoom. You can do it on Zoom. Like I had the upsell, the webinar upsell where people can't see, they only see your face, but I've seen it done with even like everybody there. You just mute everybody, right? And you don't allow them to unmute and you just talk. And then in the end, you can pitch them, right? So this is what we call prospecting. Okay. Prospecting. All right. I always, whenever I see somebody writing out a long word, I'm like, I hope they're not going to write out the whole thing. Do you do that as well? Because you're like, come on, I get it. Okay. So you can do that. So that's prospecting. And then selling it. Okay. So selling it to sell it. So prospecting is like getting leads for your business, people who never knew who you are and what services you provide, and to get them to want to speak up and actually sign up for your software. But then you have to sell it. So selling it usually is done on a Zoom call. Okay. So you could, I would say there's two ways to do it. I would say there's two ways to do it. So there's a lot of ways to prospect to get leads, right? There's endless. Right? LinkedIn, like if your industry is on LinkedIn, for example, realtors, a lot of realtors are on LinkedIn, and I'm guilty. I'm really not utilizing, I'm underutilizing this asset, LinkedIn, which I could be doing more on LinkedIn. So there's a myriad of ways to prospect, but to sell it, there's also more than two ways probably, but the main two ways that I want to show you is number one, you can automate it, okay? Automated, such as I have on my website. Okay, so I have automated it here in a way that people can, let's say, I can send them, they're interested, I can send them to zenlead.io and they can come to pricing, and then on their own free time, on their own will, whenever they can come and they can get started over here. This does not happen a lot, especially for me. I know other SaaS's, high level companies that they do that a lot. Okay. So this is more for like a truly hands off software as a service. Okay. What I have is more because I do paid ads for clients. Okay. And I do the initial setup. So while SaaS is more DIY, I would say DIY, do it yourself. Everybody knows what DIY is. I have a more kind of, I would say, manual approach. Okay, manual approach where I would do, they actually even have a name for it, agency, right? Agency or SMMA. But actually another, so they took the acronym SaaS and they came up with software with a service, SWAS, okay? And this is done for you, so you could charge them more, okay? So if you charge them, let's say X, here you can charge them like 3X, okay? To make it simpler. So do it yourself. You charge them monthly and they do it. And then DFY is you help them do it or you do it for them, and you can charge them a little bit more. And the way I do this is I sell it over a Zoom call. So no matter how I prospect, okay, and actually the way I'll show you in a sec how I prospect, I try to take them to a Zoom call. So I sell them on a Zoom call. Okay. So let me show you first how I prospect mostly. So I do in groups. So there's realtor groups. There's massive realtor groups out there, 335,000 members. All right. This is a good one. And if you look for me, let's say look for Greg Vasil, my activity in here. So these kind of two-step posts. Hey, I have something cool for realtors. Do you guys want to check it out? Comment, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Hey, I have a case study of this much spent on ads and this much made in blah, blah, blah. Comment, blah, blah, blah. And then some are more successful. Some are like, so this is a good one. I've seen a guy post and get 1,000, right? Not every group will allow you to do that. We have an agreement with the moderators, so maybe you can ask first because they will ban you if you just start spamming groups and posting. So feel it out. Not every group is cool with it. 174. So basically, I'm like, hey, I have a free training to get leads. Who's interested? 248 comments. If we click on comments, you can see I'm interested. What I do is I hover over their name and I add them. right? Not everybody, by the way, allows you to add them, because some of them, they don't allow you to add them. Like they have, or yeah, some cancel request means they haven't accepted it yet, but some will, if you go add friend, you'll get a pop-up that says you can't add them. Okay, so I add them, then I reply the boost engagement, tell them I'm going to reach out, and then I DM them and I talk to them. And if it's a training that I send them, oh, see, this person, so they have in their settings that it doesn't allow you to friend them. They only people in their network or people they know can friend them. So that is how I prospect. And then when I DM them, I always take them to a Zoom call, because it's a warm sales call to a Zoom call, right? Some people, if you do cold calling, so there's the call, like a 5-minute call. Hey, you're a realtor, cool. I can get you leads, blah, 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 blah. Let me invite you to a Zoom call. Let's talk on Zoom. So it's always on a Zoom sales call. And actually, while I don't necessarily love cold calls, I do enjoy the Zoom call, the one-on-one quick Zoom call, like 40, 30-minute. I genuinely get to know them. I'm like, okay, what's your pain point? Oh, I use this company and they messed me up and they charged me. And I'm like, oh, really? Wow, that sucks. Yeah, and I didn't get any leads. Don't worry, you could get leads like tomorrow when we get started. And I don't close, of course, I don't close every Zoom call, but the ones that I close, I'll pitch them. I'll be like, so we can get started at 300 a month, let's just say. I know agencies in other spaces will say, okay, that's pretty low, you can charge 3,000, right? So for example, med spas, chiropractors, there's people charging like 2K to manage their ads. But in the realtor space, they really, most of them can't swing that. I work within their confines, basically. I'd rather get a $300 sale recurring, set it up once, it takes me an hour, let's just say 2 hours tops, and then it's running for months and I don't have to worry about it. So I'll still take it. I've even done like 1,500 for 3 months. Okay. For 3 months. And that comes out to obviously 500 a month. So I've done that. All right. That is how I sell it. And then on the Zoom call, pretty much all I do is I'm like, okay, you ready to go? I'm going to send you a payment link, which is from my Stripe. Stripe is the payment processor, right? By the way, Stripe really integrates beautifully with your HighLevel and SaaS configurator, where you can set your own prices here, right? Whatever it is. So I said this, I copy the link, and then I'm like, okay, you ready to go, Mr. Smith? Let me send you the link. So you take care of that, and then we'll schedule the onboarding. Okay. And all they come in here, they do is they fill this information out. They can see the price point, right? This is a third party that's secure. Stripe is the number one payment processor in the world. Everybody knows it. They fill this out, they subscribe. And then what happens is, because it's linked to my HighLevel, to my SaaS, they get a sub account created. Every client gets their own little sub account where their leads are, where their Facebook ads are, their little microcosm, right? Their little thing that they can log in on their end, right? And check all their stuff. It gets automatically created. Okay. So remember how I told you there's two ways to do it. So the auto way would be to send them to a website, and like where it's embedded on a website, and they can come over here, and remember we did it here, right? And then they can check out. That would be like the truly automated way. I get those sometimes. They come to my web, let's say, or I can promote my website. They can come here and they can check out. But the majority of clients that I get, I have a Zoom call with them, and then I send them a payment link, and that's it. Bob's your uncle. Then they pay automatically. There's a sub account created for them. I schedule an onboarding with them. We do it like a 1 hour onboarding. I show them how everything works. And then I go and I set up their ads. Within a day or two, they're up and running. So it's pretty straightforward how I do it. That is how I sell HighLevel. All right. Today we covered a lot of ground. So to recap real quick, we talked about what SaaS is. Okay. We looked at this company Podium that they do a fraction of what we can offer with our software, right? A fraction of it, and they charge these really big prices, and they're valued at $3 billion, right? So they're a SaaS that we can model. We talked about who do we sell it to? So small local businesses, for example, real estate, med spas, chiropractors, dentists, car detailing, the business that works on leads, appointments, that needs marketing. Every small business needs marketing, right? So we talked about that. Who do we help? What do we sell them? Okay. And you could sell, like, as we talked about, like I sell Facebook ads and Google ads. You could sell websites. You could sell reputation managements, reviews, right? Google reviews, email marketing. You could do SEO services, anything. HighLevel is just a tool to help you fulfill it, right? It's a really wonderful tool to help you fulfill it. And then we talked about how do we sell it? And we sell it by, first of all, we prospect, and that's just endless. Like literally, you could send a homing pigeon to the businesses with your little flyer in its beak. Joking aside, like there's literally every social media platform, DMing people, posting in groups like I showed you, like I do, right? Just be careful, don't get banned. Talk to the people, ask for permission first. So there's a myriad of ways. The cold DMing on Instagram works, reels work. It's just longer. If you do content, it's a longer strategy, longer play. Whereas DMing or posting like this is more of a faster kind of thing. That's prospecting. And then part two of the how is the selling, right? And we talked about the two ways that you could sell is automated. You put on a website, but honestly, if nobody knows about you, nobody's gonna come and show up. So and you could have it, but you got to know that by itself nobody's going to buy. The preferred method that I recommend is no matter how you prospect, you push them to a Zoom call, okay? And then talk to them and give them a link. Just send them a link and be like, hey, here's a link. Go ahead, take care of that. And then everything will be the way it's set up with SaaS. It's automated, right? It's automated. By the way, with this, if you want to put it on your website, if you want to send a link, then you need to go to the 497 plan. Okay, so that's the last thing I'll tell you. So HighLevel, there's 97, 297, and 497. It's not on this page, but it's a separate page. By the way, there's links below, so you could check it out. And the Pro trial, the 497, this allows you to create the SaaS mode, which is coming in here and then setting up your SaaS configurator. That way you can create plans and you can send people links to check out directly, and everything will be created automatically, right? If you go for the 97 or the 297 plan, then what happens is you have to manually create them, which is honestly, it's not that bad. You just have to manually enter their name, blah, blah, blah. So they pay here. You can still send them this link. They pay here, and you just have to manually go in, and then you have to manually go to sub accounts and manually create a sub account and onboard them manually, where this is done for you automatically. All right, so we covered a lot of ground. Thank you so much. Please, guys, if you don't have HighLevel, consider using my link below. It's an affiliate link. I'll get a small commission for it. It's no extra cost to you, I promise you. And if you use my link, instead of the 14-day free trial, you will have a 30-day free trial. Okay, so my link below will get you a 30-day free trial, so you can get an extended free trial. So please consider doing that. Thank you so much, and I hope you learned a lot today. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.